School taught you all about the four seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's the way we really tell what time of year it is in sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or off season. But what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now. And now, and now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolateseason.com.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Letting your children know you believe in them will go a long way toward making their dreams a reality. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. It's important to celebrate learning, focus on the positives, reinforce good effort and determination. Children need your encouragement and support. Our public schools want every student to succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Old School with DP and J.
DPGM. What are you going to do to Caleb Williams? What are you going to do? You going to draft him?
No.
You're not going to draft him?
No, I don't. Here's my thing. I don't want anybody to know. I'm not going to bring poison into my program because that's what it would be. He's letting you know he's poison. He's venom. Why would I put poison in my own soup?
Maybe you're a mongoose. You can
I have zero.
You're a mongoose. You can take the Cobra venom.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Letting your children know you believe in them will go a long way toward making their dreams a reality. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. It's important to celebrate learning. Focus on the positives, reinforce good effort and determination. Children need your encouragement and support. Our public schools want every student to succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome to 93.7 The Ticket. It's Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC. And as always, on the warm ones and twos, Harrison. I think that's probably the thing is he's keeping his fingers on there because that's probably the warmest thing in town right now is Harrison. So how you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm good as about anybody can be this morning. As everyone's aware, it's freezing. If you're planning to go anywhere, definitely start your car good half an hour early and don't be driving out there on low tank. Definitely fill up before you go anywhere. Make sure you got some gas. And it's freezing. I was telling Pete, took my car a couple of times to get a turnover this morning, as I'm sure a lot of you guys out there. So definitely drive safe. Roads are still slick. They're icy. It's hard for the salt to do anything when it's this cold. But other than that, it's a pretty good morning.
Yeah. I can't complain. You got to look on the bright side. And, as you come down, we live out kind of towards the airport area out that way by the interstate. And then when you came in, that bridge, that viaduct, it's a sheet of ice. And so, if you're out and about, please be careful. I would even say bundle up, but bundling up, there's just, you can't be out there too long. And so to those, we say essential workers, but those who just cannot get out of the cold, thank you. We do truly appreciate you. The city crews are working their rear ends off. I know heard on the radio, but also TV, a little bit understaffed. And so Pam Dingman and just City Works, commend them for everything that they're doing. The custodians and the other individuals that are going in, just checking the buildings to make sure there's no water pipe freezes and those type of things. Know you're appreciated, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So, other than that, kind of, we can talk about the cold all over and, over and over again, I think ad nauseum. But, the two things that I noticed, we talked last time about what would we leave behind in 2023.
Yeah.
What I will leave behind from Cold Magetta is I don't need to see any more pictures on social media of somebody taking a screenshot of their car temperature as they're going along. I get it. I know they might want it to show up again, but I do not need to see any more. Yeah, -14, -19, -8. We get it.
It is kind of funny because it's like, this is more than just a local area, right? This is going across a pretty big sweeping band of cold. It's definitely cold out there for everyone. And I'm also done with the pictures. I understand it's cold, but when I walk outside,
yeah. I know the temperature. If you want it to show up on your timeline a year from now to remember, it's great. But you live in Nebraska, you live in Iowa, Chicago. Now the ones in Texas. Now I know Dallas is supposed to get, start to get some of this as well. And so with the playoff game and everything, they were talking about people were going to the grocery stores and getting things to stay hunkered down. So don't be doing that till after the win this evening.
Yeah, and you got the Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love. This is an ugly game, but I'll tell you what, this is the first time, Pete Ferguson, I'll be rooting for the Cowboys today.
Harrison, give me that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. If you didn't see that as a high five
all
in
the
house,
other Bears fans out
thank
there
you.
are probably thinking the same way I am. I can't stand the Packers. If Jordan Love continues this rise to what is looking like another Favre 2.0, Rodgers 2.0, like I can't take too much more. So can't believe I'm saying it, but go Cowboys. We'll roll Dak Prescott and the boys today.
You know what? Like I said, I think they can get I think they get this one. They've got, everything lined up after last week. And so, you doesn't get much better than that. You got to continue to win at home. It's always tough to continue to beat teams at the NFL. And you saw that with the Cardinals, kind of surprising people and ruining people's seasons. So, I think they got a good shot. Got to get the running game going with Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
I think they're going to double CeeDee Lamb and do some schemes on that. But, excited just for them to be they've got a kicker. And so, that was last year just kind of one of the struggles of, put them in some situations that I don't think they anticipated being in. So just defensively, can't speak enough when you lose, one of your major, superstars, an all-pro type player, and then you've got somebody else that emerges, and then you've always got Micah Parsons, which is a straight man child.
He's one of the more impossible guys to stop. You think of him. Obviously, there's so many of those players around. But as a Cowboys fan, I got to ask, do you have to prepare yourself mentally for what is bound to be a slip up at some point of beyond just normal circumstances?
This is the thing is, I'm through and true. It is not like every year I'm going to post a picture. It's going to be the same baby picture. I'm going to be there. We're going to make it happen. Dr. Marco Pedroza, I am calling him out. I know he's probably not even up yet. He is one that during games that, that's your quarterback. There's your quarterback. There's your quarterback throwing picks again. Well, Dr. Pedroza, he's thrown 9 interceptions. He said there was no way he was going to throw 10 this year. But I don't, mentally, you just get prepared to support the team. Everybody's team ends. I mean, the Dolphins, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk to Thornton. He's got to be going through a world of woe. But this isn't the NFL show. This is bigger than the score. It's always good to get some Cowboys talk in there. Of course, Pete Ferguson, biggest Cowboys fan I know. But nonetheless, I can see a couple of our scholars in here are popping on the stream. As always, we got a guest in studio as well. I'll let you go ahead and lay out what we have planned here ahead.
Yeah, with the weather, it's been a busy week, and for some individuals who know me, something that we've had some guests on that I've had the opportunity, I want to say, have the privilege and been humbled to be involved in is the annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Youth Rally and March. And on Monday will be the national recognition of Dr. King's birthday, and this year he would have been 95 years old. And, when people start thinking about that, I mean, some have grandparents that are that old, and some have, parents that can remember components of, Dr. King speaking or where they were at when maybe he was assassinated or just moments, John F. Kennedy. And so, on their timeline, and we talked a little bit about this on people's timelines, Dr. King is still an essential part on the timeline for many of us, like 9/11, the space shuttle. You think about Desert Storm.
Mhm.
I mean, we can go on, but Dr. King is still one of those iconic individuals who was instrumental in a movement that benefited not just African Americans, but, young people, that galvanized and really started the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, young people being involved in a movement, as well as women, as well as, other individuals, immigrants. And so excited to be involved in that as the lead advisor for 26 years of a component that Dr. Leola Bullock started, and have some guests here who are instrumental and play some key roles, not only in this year's planning committee, but have also been longstanding members. We have Emily Koopman, who is the executive director at the Belmont Community Center, otherwise known as the BCC out there, for those of you that are familiar. So how you doing, Emily?
I'm doing well, thanks. How you doing, Pete?
Fantastic. And Emily was a member of the planning committee. I'm gonna let her talk about that as an alum, and then got roped back in, just couldn't get enough, and now is we called her a rally specialist. We used to say advisor, but Emily is now a rally specialist, and she'll talk about that in a number of different ways. And then we have Emma Brown, Emma is I want to say, Emma, is this 3 or 4 years?
We got to plug her in.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
next
Sorry.
segment.
We'll plug her in.
Yep.
But we've got Emma Brown, who is a scholar at Lincoln High, and I believe she's a 3-year member, but she has known me. I've actually gotten to coach Emma basketball, and just a phenomenal young lady. And then Jeremiah is a multi-year member of the rally as well. And so I want to start with Emily a little bit. Emily, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who's in your family? Have you always lived in Nebraska? And then we're going to pose a question to you about the cold, because you said this ain't nothing, as you share about where you've been for a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Emily Koopman. I'm the executive director at the Belmont Community Center. The Community Center is down the street from Belmont Elementary School. The City Parks and Rec Center is attached to the school, but down the hill is the BCC. It's got this domed roof. In case you're ever looking for us, look for the domed roof. I actually grew up in Raymond, Nebraska, and got plugged into the rally when I was 16 after participating in Youth Leadership Lincoln and meeting you, Pete, and came in and joined when I was about a junior in high school. So I spent 2 years on the rally planning committee, and then came back for more as an adult. And I, working with youth, it's just such a fit to plug youth into these programs. I'm really excited someday. Hopefully my son, he's 8 years old. I got an 8-year-old son who got snowed in Raymond. So he was out with my parents on the acreage, and he's just been snowed in, winning their money. That's what I heard.
Out there living life with everything.
We play a family game called Tripoli.
Okay.
And so my parents are sending me pictures of him playing Tripoli and just winning all their money. And I said, okay, that's what I like to see. I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. We've been snowed in out there, but at least you're making it worth it.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your family. So tell us, you talked about your parents and Max. Just go ahead and give them a shout out by name.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to my dad, Kevin Koopman. He also is a radio guy on a Polka radio station sometimes. So, but yeah, my dad, Kevin Koopman, now retired, was a band teacher for decades. And shout out to my mom, Dr. Ann Koopman. She's the director of advising at Doane University, and such an inspiration to me. And then shout out to my son, Max. He is 8 years old and a scholar at Campbell Elementary School.
Awesome. And so your journey in working with young people, obviously you've been here. Something people may not know about Emily is she was homecoming on the homecoming court and won homecoming royalty at the University of Nebraska Lincoln. So if you look up Emily's name, you'll see that as one of the first things that pops up. But also you did venture out and do some work and some engagement in Chicago.
Yeah. I moved to Chicago after I got my degree at the university and started working on my master's out there. And that was the first time I started working in after-school programs. I worked before and after school programs. I would open the before and after school programs. I would also do recess supervision. So I was just a part-time staff doing that. But that was in 2012. So 10 years ago is when I started my journey in the after-school space. And started in Chicago. And like I was telling you, in Chicago, a Chicago winter, I mean, crazy. Just crazy, worse than this. I mean, people still got a lot of places to go in Chicago. This is not going to slow you down at all. And I was telling Pete that, you got to scoop out your spot on the side parking, and then you got to put a chair in it. Save it. Don't let anybody park in your spot because you scooped it out.
So if you're trying that now, we see people around
Right.
around the community.
Downtown
scoop it
Lincoln,
out
I'm
and
giving you advice.
Hey, we're just going to take chairs. That's what we're going to
Scoop
have.
out your spot, put a lawn chair in that spot because you scooped it out. You deserve to keep that spot.
There you go. Next thing on the merch gear for 93.7 The Ticket is folding chairs to go ahead to put in your spot when you scoop things out.
Right.
Hey, we're going to go to a quick break, but we'll be back with more with Emily, Jeremiah, and Emma on 93.7 The Ticket. Bigger than the Score with Peter Ferguson.
Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
I see the future in our public school classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success. Support your public schools. Get involved. Form a business school partnership or become a school volunteer. Great schools and great communities work hand in hand.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
A Shiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC. And I know Harrison said, I know it's not about the Cowboys, but I did do an outfit change. So yes, I changed my hat. I got one for every segment. But we are here with Emily Koopman, and Emily Koopman is the executive director, as she talked about, at the BCC, the Belmont Community Center here in Lincoln, and is also an alum and a rally specialist. That's another code word for advisor. And then we've got 2 scholars that are going to join us here. We've got Jeremiah and Emma who are on the stream. And so glad they could be with us. How y'all doing this morning?
Good.
Fantastic. Well, hey, I know both of you are staying safe and warm. We were going to have them in studio today, but we wanted to just kind of, honor their safety and also make sure that they were in a great environment. So glad you all were able to log on this morning. Hey, we talked to Emily a little bit about who she is and her journey. Emma, could you maybe just share with us who you are, who's in your family? Have you always lived in Lincoln? Where do you go to school? And kind of kick us off a little bit.
Yeah, so I've always gone to school in Lincoln, and for elementary school I went to Eastridge, and for middle school I went to Leffler, and now I'm a sophomore at Lincoln High. I live in Seward half the time, and then I also live in Lincoln. So at my mom's house, it's my mom, Sarah Brown, my little half brother Cormac, and my sister Bella. And then at my dad's house, it's my dad, Brandon, my stepmom, Chelsea, and then Tristan, Avery, and Bella.
Awesome. And so you talked about that. Your mom, I think one of the unique things you shared last year, I know about your mom and your family a little bit, is that she has a unique thing that she started a business in the middle of a pandemic. and so that has been quite a ride. So what does your mom do, and what's her organization?
Yeah, so she owns Rutabagas, which is like a vegan comfort food restaurant, and yeah, basically I do help out and work a lot because my sister chooses not to, but I help with like caterings and stuff, and I also work the counter, but yeah.
Fantastic. And Jeremiah, what about you? Tell us a little bit about who you are and introduce yourself to the community.
Yeah, for sure. Good to see you guys again. My name is Jeremiah York. I'm a senior at Lincoln High. Glad to be here again. I'm the youngest of 4. I'm not originally from Lincoln. I'm originally from Florida. I moved to Lincoln about in the 8th grade, so when I was about 13. And I can't believe it's already been 5 years, but now I'm a senior and I'm about to graduate. And yeah, I've just been here ever since. And the cold can be sometimes on and off, but we're still pushing through it.
Fantastic. And tell us who's in your family, if you mind giving them a shout out. I know some of them are listening and want to feel that love.
Yeah, I have 2 sisters, Didi and Tioni, and my brother Gene, and my mom Monique, who's watching.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, hey, why don't you all tell us a little bit about other things that you're involved in? And so I'll start with you, Emma. I know you do track, cross country. I used to be, I scared you away from playing basketball anymore. So again, my coaching days, I have to retire those. But what are some things you're involved in and outside of school, outside of work?
Yeah, I'm involved in cross country, and I will be joining track for the first time this spring. But other than that, this last semester and second semester freshman year, I was involved in unified PE, which I think is really important, and I encourage people at schools to join that class because it's like a really important experience. And just giving everyone an equal playing field is super important. So I think it's really fun for them to experience that. And yeah, other than work, this will be my 4th year with the Martin Luther King Youth Rally Planning Committee. And yeah.
Awesome. Jeremiah, what about you? What other things are you involved in?
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with what Emma said. Definitely. I did unified PE, and it was definitely amazing. So I would encourage you guys to join that class also. But yeah, I do a lot. I did football for 3 years. I do track. I do a little bit of speech here and there. I also do unified educators, rising educators. I'm a part of Stuco, Key Club. There's so much to name.
Well, when do you sleep? When do you sleep? Like I said, the days off probably helped you out, get caught up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm using some of these snow days right now to try to catch up, but it gets hard sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Fantastic. Well, Emily, you have known both of these scholars through different capacities. You know, for somebody that like just on the outside looking in, you know, they gave their bio, things that they're involved in. How would you describe them?
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely want to just bring up the dedication of both these scholars. You know, you hear both of them just talk about what they're involved in. You hear them hype up good experiences, wanting other scholars to participate in important experiences, and I think that really embodies the character of these 2 scholars, right? They want people out at the rally. They want people to hear messages that empower, engage, and inform, and they want people to join unified PE, right? They care about their community. They want folks engaged and experiencing new things for the betterment of their community. And they said that in so many words. And I think that kind of dedication and that kind of community mindset really embodies both Emma and Jeremiah.
So as you kind of let in a little bit about just kind of a mutual involvement that you all have, the annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Youth Rally in March, share a little bit about what is that when people hear that, and when you watch, when you come, you hear that over and over again, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Youth Rally in March. To you, what is that when you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it is this platform to engage youth in thinking critically about their community, using their voice as an advocacy, right? So we are celebrating, I know I said this to the scholars one time, but we are celebrating a great orator, someone who moved people to do new things, to do things that were uncomfortable, to give them good information. And on Rally Day, that's what these scholars aim to do. They aim to use their voices and honor Dr. King in the way that he brought life to our country and to just the movement in general. So, and then also just bringing that to a localized level. That's the beauty of the rally, is that MLK, we honor him, but also at a local level, we're honoring Dr. Bullock, who did that advocacy right here in Lincoln. And so being able to highlight both of these important people on a national historic level, but on a local historic level, that's really what the rally does. And it does that by way of the youth, which is so just inspiring and important and sets our community up for success, you know?
So Jeremiah, as you hear that, why did you get involved? Like why did you get involved in something like this?
Man, I just saw it as a great opportunity, and I just wanted to be involved however I could. But when I heard about, I haven't heard of before, before hearing about it, I haven't heard about anything like this. So I thought it was very unique, and I thought I had to put my hand in it, however that I could have, because down in Florida, you don't see anything like this, honestly. And this community outreach is just so important, especially for the youth. Something that's built for and orchestrated for and by the youth is just amazing. And I just think it's something so life-changing just to be in. And just MLK's legacy, he continues to work and thrive towards a more equitable, community and world. And just the works that he did, the reason, he risked his life, and just to be a part of this today is just amazing.
And Emma, same question. Why would you choose? You've got so many things going on, work, athletics, and sports. You spoke so eloquently about getting involved with Unified PE and components. Why have you chosen to be involved and then also stay involved?
Yeah, so I remember attending the rally in 2020 before COVID, and it was just a really good experience because I feel like I hadn't surrounded myself around that type of community, and like there was just such a sense of belonging and like togetherness that was like really powerful, and just like seeing kids so much younger than me out on the stage, like projecting their voice as loud as they could about things they were passionate about was just like a really, really cool experience. And so, yeah, I thought that it was important that I be a part because I think that everyone needs to do their fair share of things if they want to bring change. So, I think, yeah, just being an advocate is important instead of standing on the sidelines. And yeah, every year, I mean, we just connect with each other, and it's just so like powerful and important to like hear everyone else in the rally and the things they have to say and share.
Awesome. So, the question I want to pose to each of you is, and Jeremiah, I'll start with you. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, we talked about earlier, would have been 95 this year. And so not somebody that you knew. You obviously are aware of him, but it's in different capacities, whether it's videos or YouTube or, a page in a history book. So why is he still so significant to you today? I mean, I just, and it's kind of tongue in cheek, but it's truthful. Like there's, Taylor Swift goes to a Chief game and people just kind of swarm over, everything that she does and swerve swag and what she's wearing and this, that, and the other. But you have an individual who is, has been gone for some time and is still iconic, and many people can recite, his words and his meaning. And so for you as a 17, 18-year-old, why is Dr. King still relevant to you?
Man, just like I said before, he's kind of seen as kind of like a martyr of the civil rights movement, some of the most impactful voice of the civil rights movement. And, his works are the reason that, we're here today. Who knows if we didn't have MLK back then, how different it would have looked today. And, just the service above self that he did to himself, he chose service above, his own safety. And, he chose the service of Black Americans for the future because he knew the future was coming, and he knew it was coming to a change. But just the fact that he involved himself and enthralled himself into to the community impact and just the nationwide fight towards civil rights, I think is just so impactful. And that's why, kids today still see him as an impactful voice.
Thanks. Emma, same thing. Like, just why is he relevant to you?
Yeah, honestly, just like the fact that he played such a key role in the civil rights movement, like makes him super honorable. But the fact that he put himself before or put others before himself and like risked his life every day in protest and speech, like I feel like everyone that learns about him in school, we can all take away a part of like that selflessness. Like he put like himself at risk, his family at risk, and like just for the well-being of other people, and I feel like that's like a really admirable thing.
Yes. And Emily, as you oversee the Belmont Community Center, young individuals who in some ways probably have no awareness of who this individual is. As you walk in that space, what's the significance of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and not moving forward to somebody else and that they might see as more tangible?
Yeah, I mean, I think that part of it, and I was thinking about this while the scholars were speaking, is that Dr. King moved people. He used his words. He large masses of people. I just watched Rustin. On Netflix, and they're just masses of people and moving them in their souls and in their spirits. And I think even reading his speeches to scholars, even reading the stories of him, becoming a young man into an adult family man in the movement and sacrificing it all. So, I think that part of that story, it's almost hard to comprehend sometimes, to see just someone giving their life, giving their talents, giving everything they have to a movement, but then letting young people and letting scholars soak in, like, oh, he did that for me. Like, I'm a part of that. I'm a part of why he did what he did. And that, I think, is what maintains, the relevance. And that is what maintains this spirit of being a national holiday. We want to celebrate what he did for all of us. We want to recognize, honor it, and continue to do the work in order to honor it well.
Fantastic. And we're going to go to a quick break, but then when we come back, we're going to talk about some things that are going on in town that these young people, and I can say, Emily, too, you are a young person, are engaged and involved with for the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Celebration Day throughout the course of the week. We'll be back on 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Pete Ferguson.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.3333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association. in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Beep, beep, beep.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I used to be a weight guy. I used to love weight.
You ain't never been a weight guy. That's a lie.
Let me tell you something.
You've never been a weight guy.
I was in a 300-pound club
No,
in
sir.
high school.
No,
Yes.
sir. Are you kidding me? That 315 pounds would have sent him through the. It'd have been 6 feet under trying to figure out how to get up out that hole.
That's how
you ain't never been nowhere near that platform to get up there for lifter of the year.
I don't want to be lifter of the year. I
So
want to be
how
the player of the year. Who wants to be a lifter of the year when you want to be the player of the year? Nobody care about weights.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. This is Peter Ferguson with Peter Ferguson BHS LLC, and on the hot ones and twos. And so if you want to get some warmth, we got Harrison over there doing his thing, and so really, truly appreciate him getting in this morning. Just gave us some news. If you do want to watch, go ahead, Harrison. Go ahead and fill people in on that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still working on Allo through it right now. Obviously, with the weather, it's not doing any favors, but nonetheless, definitely, I recommend watching the YouTube stream. You can go back, rewatch it anytime you want. 93.7 The Ticket, Bigger Than the Score. It'll show up live. And again, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of those great way to put a face to the voice. And of course, the Sartor Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. And one from Facebook, James, he's saying, how about them Steelers? So shout out to James for chiming in here. Obviously, it's the Steelers. They got a big one today.
Yeah, James. No James and his wife Dana. So great for them to listen in, and nice plant there, right there, for somebody who was ill-advised on what to read and what not to read. Hey, we're back again with a couple individuals that are instrumental in just some things that are going on this week. Emily Koopman, again, is the executive director at the Belmont Community Center, and definitely if you get a chance to look that up and just come by or provide support, is a true stakeholder in this community. We've got Emma and Jeremiah, who are both planning committee members of the annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Youth Rally in March. And so Emily has talked a little bit about what that is and the march and the rally. For those that aren't familiar, traditionally we have that on Monday and on the third Monday of every January. And it's a really nice showcase to showcase young people. And Emily, give a little bit what people would see in the traditional showcase.
Yeah, in the traditional showcase, we kick it off with the pre-rally, really allowing people to just engage with each other and just hyping everyone up. And then we get into the rally where scholars across Lincoln have been preparing for months their pieces. They have taken cultural moments and transformed it into their own. They have taken speeches and poems and transformed it into their own. They have taken inspiration from just various things happening in our nation and in our lives here in our community to pour into their pieces. They have adapted things and written personal statements, and then they've been practicing. They've been practicing Sunday after Sunday, rehearsals at the Playhouse in front of stakeholders. They have been working so hard, and so then they give those speeches on rally day, and then afterwards we again just celebrate and connect with the community. And back in the day, we used to march.
Yes. Yeah. And so, again, as Emily kind of shared, traditionally that happens on Monday, the third Monday in January, and we have a pre-rally. 93.7 The Ticket has been a tremendous stakeholder in this experience, as well as the city of Lincoln and other community partners. Unfortunately, due to the inclement weather, we are going to adjust our schedule. And so tomorrow, the rally that we traditionally have that's been advertised would start at 9:30 with the pre-rally, 10 o'clock with the call to action program. There will be no in-person engagement. There will just be no in-person engagement. Part of this was a decision, and it was an extremely difficult decision to make, but we have planning committee members that are from outside the area. And so the committee has grown from a school to a district to other committee members who have worked tirelessly for months. And we wanted to make sure that they could be involved, but also in consultation with the university and also the city of Lincoln and some other components. We wanted to make sure that we were able to broadcast effectively, and the timing of us being able to get into the university, making sure that it was safe for people to travel down, just did not align. And so tomorrow starting at 9:30, you'll be able to watch a pre-recorded version of past rally components, educational pieces from like PBS, some historical pieces, and to get some previews. We're going to have a couple of our scholars share just a snippet of their pieces that they'll bring. And don't fret. We saw this silver lining in this, and actually this expanded an opportunity for us on Friday, January 19th. We are going to actually do a live stream thanks to this the city from 1:30 to 2:30. And so it'll be great for a lunch and learn for businesses, schools, colleges, universities. And we'll be doing this year's content. So the planning committee will be doing this year's content. It'll be live streamed across the airways, YouTube. You can go to mlkyouthrally.com. We'll have that information. And then on Saturday, next Saturday, January 20th, they will actually do it in person. And so they will do it again at the Centennial Room at the Nebraska Union at 10 a.m. Doors are open at 9:30. And we would just really encourage the community to come out. The Martin Luther King Day is not just one day. It's the essence goes throughout the course of the year, and these scholars have worked hard. And so we want to provide these 3 opportunities for you to engage. And so that is the rundown. I'll give that again before we leave. But again, you can go to mlkyouthrally.com to be updated on opportunities. But Emma and Jeremiah, if you're prepared, I want you to share, if you would, just a snippet of your, about 45 seconds, a minute of your piece. And so we'll start with you, Emma.
Okay, yeah. So most may think that the Planning Committee's journey started 29 years ago, heeding a call to act by the late Dr. Leola Bullock, who challenged leaders of young people to come together and develop a celebration honoring the late Dr. King. But this walk together with love began in 1963, when a 34-year-old Dr. Leola Bullock and the Reverend Everett Reynolds led marchers during a civil rights rally right here in the streets of Lincoln. Then again, Lincoln witnessed another walk together with love when Dr. King visited Lincoln and was escorted by one of 2 Black officers on the force, Mr. Albert Maxey being one of them. My walk began with this planning committee in 2021, as I recognized that the voice of young people commonly gets dismissed. Sometimes, due to my gender, due to my age, I'm expected to walk alone. Our planning committee's theme, Rally, Walk Together with Love, means a lot of things. It means caring for individuals regardless of whether they are on the left or the right or independent. To walk together with love is to do so without hesitation and to promote a sense of home, inclusion, and belonging. I think throughout time and history, we are taught and not taught how walks would have generated a different outcome if they were done together and with love.
Fantastic. Emma, what do you hope people, before we do Jeremiah, what do you hope people will take from that? Where do you feel they can be empowered? Where do you feel they can be educated? And then where do you feel that they'll engage with you as you deliver that?
Yeah, I feel like I do educate later on in my piece because I educated myself with this piece by learning of times in history where people did come together and walk together, and names I learned their relevance in the histories. And I think honestly it's really engaging because I think that I'm spreading the message of like we truly do need to walk together because nothing's gonna get done if we're standing apart from one another.
Fantastic. Thank you for your share. Jeremiah, I'd love you to share a little bit of your piece.
Yeah, for sure. I might have to go off camera for this though, since it's on another tab. But okay. Service above self is not just a slogan. It's a philosophy that fuels change in our community. When we prioritize the needs of others, we foster greater compassion and build bridges of understanding. It's personal. Everything, no matter how small, contributes to a collective force and action necessary for good. Make it personal. As we embrace the principle of service above self, let us recognize the potential within each and every one of us, youth and adult, to make a meaningful impact. And together, we'll cultivate a culture where compassion is the currency and kindness is the driving force. And in doing so, we not only elevate our own lives, but also contribute to the betterment of the future as a whole. Achieving Black excellence is not just a myth, a hobby, or a buzzword. It's reality that stands in front of you today. It's me, Jeremiah York, senior at Lincoln High School and a member of the 29th annual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Youth Rally. It's personal, and it's my life's calling. My story matters. I matter. My presence matters. Yes, I'm Black, and my life matters. Yes, again, my steps have to be more than intentional, personal, and filled with love that is service above self. And I'm going to say it again, just like Coach Prime said. It's personal.
Wow. I even got that Coach Prime in there. I saw Harrison's head nodding when he was like, Coach Prime. Okay, I like the content. He just said Coach Prime. He's like, it's personal. Tell us, just like I asked Emma, where do you feel people will be empowered? Where should they gain some education? And then where are you engaging them through that?
Yeah, for sure. Empowering by just bringing it more personal to myself, and also making it personal to the people that's hearing it, so that they know that they can achieve great things. And even though they all have different journeys, each and every of their single journey and stories are inspiring and unique and lifting and engaging. And I feel that, with this piece, I feel like I really, make it a call to action to make it personal towards yourself. And also, in the sense of, gaining that, gaining that call to action, and, just making it, getting a source of inspiration by also bringing, names of other, underknown civil rights leaders who also, took part in the fight for civil rights.
Fantastic. And what you just heard there, Harrison and Emily has been there on Sunday nights as these scholars have developed their components. And one of the things I really am these are personal pieces, and they're unique, and they have put themselves in it. And there's a takeoff on that line. It's personal. The speech, that content is his. It's they are the AIs. They are the artificial intelligence that invested into that and developed those. And so, though we are disappointed that, Monday will not be in person, and traditionally we have filled that room, I'm going to put a challenge, and I know they're going to put a challenge out to the community to fill that room, next Saturday, to get classrooms, to get individuals, to get businesses to take an hour, not an hour off, but an hour on, to really promote positive youth action, to spread love, as DP oftentimes says, as Emma put forward. And so, we again, Monday will be a pre-recorded program. And again, it's an opportunity to engage. It's good for individuals 4 to 90 years of age, past components, some current, some videos to just learn about Dr. King, but also learn about the history of our country. And then on Friday, January 19th, 1:30 to 2:30, a live stream that'll be available on the Lincoln City TV site. You can go to mlkyouthrally.com. We'll have a button you can click, and it'll go directly to it. And then on Saturday, it will only be in person with all our committee members. We have individuals that are from Omaha South to Lincoln High to Omaha Central that are engaged, Lincoln East, Lincoln Southwest. And so really want you to come and be a part and engage with us. Emily, any last closing comments on a 20-second pitch to get people?
Listen, I'll see you 3 times. You heard Pete. We'll see you tomorrow on Monday at 9:30. We'll see you Friday at 1:30, and we will see you Saturday at 9:30 at the Union in person. So tune in all 3 times. We want to see you engage, and tell all your friends about it.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks, Emily. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Jeremiah. And as Emily said, I look forward to seeing you 3 times this week. As Dr. King said, he has a dream, but he's also glad he didn't sneeze. Thank you.